It's that nagging feeling, isn't it? Like an unwelcome guest who's long overstayed their welcome. The echo of a past relationship. It's a common experience, really. A former partner continues to occupy prime real estate in your mind, influencing your thoughts, and sometimes even holding your heart captive long after the relationship itself has ended. Research suggests that most people will go through about 3 breakups by age 30, and at least one of those will significantly impact their quality of life for weeks or even months. Healing and moving on is a deeply personal journey, different for everyone, but the goal is always clear: to reclaim your emotional landscape. Think about it. Unresolved emotional ties to a past relationship can act like an invisible anchor, keeping you from sailing toward new horizons. The mental energy you spend replaying old scenarios, wondering, what if? Or checking up on an ex, it's a lot. But what if that space in your head, currently cluttered with relics of the past, could be cleared out, renovated, and made ready for exciting new occupants, new experiences, new growth? The good news is, it absolutely can. Eviction is possible. This isn't about pretending someone never existed or denying the importance of a past chapter in your life. True emotional eviction means the relationship no longer dictates your present emotional state or your future decisions. It's about that past tenant no longer having the power to disrupt your peace or cloud your judgment. Today, we're exploring the 7 definitive signs that you've successfully served that eviction notice, that you've truly moved on, and have reclaimed your mental and emotional real estate for good. The first, and perhaps one of the most telling signs that your ex no longer holds a lease in your mental space, is a feeling of genuine emotional indifference. This isn't suppression or denial. It's a profound shift from the intense highs and lows that thoughts of your former partner once brought. Remember the immediate aftermath of the breakup? Memories, songs, places, even a familiar phrase might have triggered a flood of sadness, longing, anger, or a bittersweet ache. When you've truly evicted them, these triggers lose their power. Emotional indifference means that when your ex crosses your mind or their name pops up in conversation, you don't feel that familiar jolt. There's no surge of adrenaline, no tightening in your chest, no urgent need to change the subject or, conversely, to fish for more information. Instead, there's a neutrality, a calmness. You might acknowledge a memory as a fact, a part of your history, but it no longer carries a hefty emotional charge. This is very different from bitterness or resentment, which are still strong emotional investments, just negative ones. True indifference is the state of emotional quiet about that specific person and the defunct relationship. You might even find you can wish them well and genuinely mean it, without any hidden hope for reconciliation or a desire for them to see you thriving as some kind of revenge. It's the quiet understanding that their life is their own, and yours is yours, and the emotional tether has been peacefully, completely severed. This state shows that the emotional rent they were once charging you, often paid with your peace of mind, is no longer being collected. The second definitive sign you've successfully reclaimed your mental territory is a complete and consistent lack of desire for contact in any form. This goes beyond just not initiating calls or texts. It includes stopping that almost instinctual modern habit, checking their social media profiles. In the early stages after a breakup, the urge to know what they're doing, who they're with, how they're coping, or if they seem to miss you can be incredibly strong. It's a digital tether, a way of keeping them peripherally in your life even when direct contact has stopped. When the eviction is complete, this compulsion naturally fades. You no longer find yourself typing their name into a search bar, scrolling through their updates, or analyzing their new connections for hidden meanings. There are no more made-up reasons to reach out. No accidental calls. No messages about a song you thought they'd like. No just checking in. The silence becomes comfortable. And importantly, it works both ways. If they happen to contact you, there isn't that rush of anticipation or anxiety about what it might mean. It's just another message, to be dealt with or not, from a place of neutrality. Also, if mutual acquaintances bring up your ex, you find yourself genuinely disinterested in a detailed report of their life. You might listen politely, but there's no internal clamor for details, no subtle probing for information about their happiness or new relationships. This isn't about being cold or uncaring. It's that your life story has moved forward so significantly that their current chapters no longer feel relevant to your own. The digital umbilical cord has been cut, not out of anger or force, but because the need for that connection, that flow of information, has simply dissolved. Your focus has shifted, and the mental energy once spent on monitoring or contemplating contact is now free for other, more constructive things. A third, and profoundly empowering sign of having truly moved on, is redirecting your energy and focus towards your own authentic personal growth and your future. A future that's independent of any connection to the past relationship. This isn't about revenge glow-ups or making changes with the subconscious hope of making your ex regret leaving. Instead, it's about making meaningful shifts in your life that are driven by your genuine desires, your aspirations, and a new understanding of what you want for yourself. When your ex has been truly evicted from your mental real estate, you'll find yourself actively pursuing new interests, hobbies, or career goals simply because they excite and fulfill you. You might be learning a new skill, traveling to places you've always dreamed of, investing in your physical and mental well-being, or cultivating new friendships. Crucially, the motivation behind these actions is internal, not external. You're not trying to prove a point, to show them what they're missing, or to fill a void they left. Instead, you're filling your life with experiences and achievements that align with your authentic self. Your decision-making processes also reflect this shift. Your plans for the future, whether they involve career changes, relocation, further education, or personal projects, are made without considering your ex's potential reaction or opinion. They are no longer a variable in your life's equation. This focus on personal development often comes with a sense of liberation and excitement. The mental space once occupied by thoughts of the past relationship, by replaying conversations or analyzing what went wrong, is now filled with an optimistic outlook toward what lies ahead. You're building a life that you love, for yourself, on your own terms. This internal locus of control and dedication to self-improvement clearly indicates that the lease on that mental space hasn't just expired. The property has been entirely and joyfully redeveloped by its rightful owner, you. The fourth sign that your ex has truly vacated your mind is the ability to look back at the past relationship with objective realism. This means acknowledging both the good and the bad aspects without the distortion of either idealizing or demonizing it. It shows a mature understanding that most relationships, even those that end, are complex tapestries woven with threads of happiness, learning, disappointment, and growth. Right after a breakup, it's common to swing between extremes. You might romanticize the relationship, remembering only the perfect moments, and convincing yourself you've lost your one true chance at happiness. Or you might focus only on the negative, painting your ex as a villain and the entire experience as a disaster. Both views, while understandable coping mechanisms at the time, are ultimately skewed. When you've genuinely moved on, a more balanced perspective emerges. You can look back and appreciate the genuinely good times, the laughter, the companionship, and the lessons learned, without those positive memories triggering painful longing or a desire to turn back time. At the same time, you can acknowledge what didn't work, the incompatibilities, the mistakes made by both of you, and the reasons for the breakup, without a surge of overwhelming anger, bitterness, or regret. You understand why the relationship ended and can accept that its conclusion, however painful at the time, was ultimately necessary or for the best. This balanced view allows you to extract valuable insights from the experience. Insights about yourself, what you need in a partner, and relationship dynamics, which can then inform your future choices in a healthy way. It's about seeing the relationship not as a failure, but as a completed chapter that contributed to your life story and personal development. This clarity, free from the emotional charge of idealization or vilification, is a hallmark of true emotional eviction. A fifth compelling indicator that you've successfully evicted your ex from your headspace is the absence of jealousy or other strong negative emotional reactions when you learn about new developments in their life, especially new romantic partners or significant achievements. This is a powerful litmus test for emotional detachment. There was likely a time when the thought of your ex moving on, finding happiness with someone else, or achieving something significant without you would have caused considerable pain, envy, or even a feeling of being replaced or left behind. Such reactions are natural when emotional ties are still present, as their new experiences can feel like a direct comment on your past relationship or your own current situation. However, when you have truly moved on, hearing news about your ex, perhaps that they're dating someone new, got engaged, landed a dream job, or are simply thriving, doesn't send you into an emotional tailspin. You might feel a fleeting moment of surprise, or perhaps a neutral acknowledgement of the information, but it doesn't linger or fester into prolonged distress, obsessive thoughts, or a need to compare yourself to their new partner or their current situation. There's no urge to investigate their new partner's social media, no bitter commentary to friends, no feeling of inadequacy. Instead, there might be a simple, detached thought of good for them, or perhaps even a genuine, albeit distant, sense of goodwill. This lack of a potent emotional response is crucial. It shows that your sense of self-worth and your emotional equilibrium are no longer tied to your ex's life choices or happiness. You're secure enough in your own journey that their path, wherever it may lead, and with whomever it may be, doesn't threaten your peace or diminish your own progress. This emotional serenity in the face of their new reality is a clear sign that their tenant rights in your mind have been fully and irrevocably terminated. The sixth definitive sign that you've reclaimed your emotional real estate is a genuine and unforced openness to forming new romantic connections. This isn't about rebound relationships or a desperate need to fill a void. Instead, it's an authentic emotional availability and a renewed interest in the possibility of love and companionship with someone new for a while after a breakup. The idea of dating again can feel daunting, exhausting, or even impossible. You might have felt that no one could ever compare to your ex, or perhaps the pain of the breakup made you wary of future vulnerability. Comparisons are often a key indicator that you're not quite there yet. If every potential new interest is measured against your former partner, it suggests they still hold a significant benchmark in your mind. However, when you've truly moved on, you find yourself naturally becoming interested in other people again. You can meet someone new and evaluate them on their own merits, appreciating their unique qualities and potential for connection without the shadow of your ex looming over the interaction. The thought of going on a date, getting to know someone, and even the possibility of falling in love again sparks a sense of cautious optimism or even excitement, rather than dread or resistance. This openness extends beyond just romantic relationships. You may find yourself more willing to form deeper connections with new friends and acquaintances as well, indicating a broader return to emotional engagement with the world. It's a signal that your heart, once perhaps guarded and under renovation, is now ready to welcome new possibilities. This isn't about actively seeking to replace your ex, but rather about recognizing that your capacity for love and connection wasn't extinguished by the past relationship, and that you are, once again, ready to explore what the future might hold in terms of partnership. Perhaps the most comprehensive and reliable sign that your ex has been truly evicted from your mind is achieving consistent emotional stability concerning your past relationship. Healing, as we often hear, is rarely a perfectly linear process. There can be good days and bad days. However, a true eviction implies that thoughts or reminders of your ex no longer have the power to trigger an emotional roller coaster or significantly disrupt your prevailing sense of peace. Think about the times when an unexpected memory, a song on the radio, or bumping into a mutual friend might have previously sent your mood plummeting or your thoughts spiraling. When you've reached this stage of emotional stability, these encounters, while perhaps still momentarily nostalgic or noteworthy, don't derail your day or your emotional state. You don't experience those dramatic mood swings from contentment to sadness or anger simply because of a reminder of the past. What's more, you can discuss the relationship, if and when it naturally comes up, perhaps with a new partner or a curious friend, without feeling overwhelmed, excessively emotional, or needing to either overshare or completely shut down the conversation. You can speak about it with a degree of detachment and perspective, acknowledging it as a part of your journey, but not as its defining feature. This emotional consistency extends to your self-perception, your sense of self-worth, your happiness, and your outlook on life are no longer intrinsically linked to the fact that this particular relationship ended or to your ex's perceived opinions of you. You have cultivated an inner resilience and a stable emotional baseline that's independent of that past chapter. This enduring emotional calm, this lack of reactivity, is the ultimate proof that the property of your mind is now under your steady and peaceful ownership, free from the turbulence your former tenant once caused. Recognizing these signs in yourself can be an incredibly affirming experience. It's a testament to your resilience and your capacity for healing and growth. If you see yourself in these descriptions, take a moment to acknowledge how far you've come. Reclaiming your emotional real estate is a significant achievement. So reflect on your own journey. Which of these signs resonate most with you? Perhaps there are other subtle indicators you've noticed that signal you've truly moved forward. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights might be incredibly helpful to others who are navigating a similar path. And if this discussion has been valuable to you, consider liking and subscribing for more content on personal growth and navigating life's transitions. Your engagement helps create more content that supports our community. Ultimately, moving on or evicting an ex from that persistent tendency in your mind isn't about erasing memories or pretending a significant relationship never happened. Those experiences, both good and challenging, contribute to the person you are today. Instead, it's about those memories and the person associated with them, no longer holding any power over your present emotions, your daily thoughts, or your future decisions. The rent, in the form of your mental energy, your emotional peace, and your focus, is no longer being paid to a past that cannot be changed. The journey to this point is unique for every individual, There is no universal timeline, and the path is often not straight. Some may find these signs emerging within months, while for others, it might be a longer, more gradual process. What truly matters is that quiet, internal shift that means you're no longer a captive of yesterday's narratives. You've learned the lessons, integrated the experience, and turned your gaze towards a future brimming with new possibilities. The space in your head is now yours, fully and completely, ready to be filled with new dreams, new connections, and the ever-evolving, ever-strengthening version of yourself. You haven't just moved on, you have moved forward,